This is Let's Wine with Brenda and Stacy, and this is Brenda and Stacy, and we have another episode for you, and we thought we'd talk about myths. Our parents used to tell us things that, of course, we took it as truth when we were young and thought that's just the way it is. And as we got older, we found out these things weren't really true.
But we believed them because
we believed them.
They were taught to us since we were young enough to remember learning things.
Right. And some of those things our parents might have, genuinely believed to be true because it was handed down or they heard it from friends, or some of these, I might have heard at school. So we thought it'd be fun to kind of go down the list. I think this might be a 4-part endeavor.
Wow.
I know. There's a lot of
myths out there.
There are. We've just become mythbusters. With the internet, it's not that big of a deal anymore, I don't think. And we're not going to blow anything up to test a myth. So, these are pretty easy and straightforward. And I think they're common. Did your mom ever say, don't cross your eyes, they'll stick that way, or you'll go blind?
Yeah, or you'll go blind. Yes. Or, if you made an ugly face, your face will stick.
All right. Well, the eye crossing one, it says that it can't cause tired eyes or headaches, but they're not going to stick that way.
I knew I would stay in trouble a lot. It was a big eye roller. And that was another one. Like, if you, one of these days you're going to roll your head so far back, your eyes so far back in your head, you're not going to come back.
You still roll your eyes.
I'm an eye roller and a huffer. I make
huffy.
I make huffy noises too.
Oh, that's okay. The next one was the one that you said about making faces and your face will freeze. Mm-hmm. And it actually said that it becomes habit forming. It's a habit forming thing. And if it's an area of the freezing, I think it's in the form of wrinkles. Because there's certain faces that we make, like when I put my eyebrows together and there's that line there, and I find that line doesn't go away so easily anymore.
So maybe it did stick.
It did.
Well, at least our eyes aren't crossed or rolled back in our head. So
yeah, this was my mother. She was a big one on don't eat raw egg. And even as an adult, she would call me up like, what are you doing over there? And I'd be like, I'm eating raw cookie dough. Well, there's raw egg in there. You're going to get worms, which is a myth. They didn't think anybody ever got worms, but you can get salmonella from it. But I haven't. Not yet.
So bring on the raw cookie dough.
Bring it on.
Yeah, I could literally just eat it like that.
I know. They do make edible cookie dough now where you can eat it that doesn't have the egg in there. There's no chance of catching
or get
cooties
worms.
Or get those worms. You used to be able to buy worms for weight loss. Did we talk about that before? They're in a pill.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk like a leech or a...
No, these were tapeworms. They were in the Sears and Roebuck catalog, and people would purchase them for weight loss. I know.
So you take it in a pill, and the hard part of the pill would dissolve, and then you just have a worm in your body.
Tapeworm, yeah.
At Sears. How much? No wonder they're out of business.
You start saying how much.
No wonder they're out of business. But I would like to know how much they cost.
I know. We'll have to look that up,
with inflation.
Probably like 1920s or 30s, and you can't do that anymore.
Oh, I can't? Oh.
No, I don't think you can do that anymore.
Oh, I was going to say.
All right, this was one we talked about earlier. We were talking about the red cars, about the insurance being higher.
I was always told that. Never buy a red car because your insurance will be higher because it's easier for people to pull out in front of you, or because the color red excites a person driving in another car.
Well, that is partially true, I guess, that part of it. It doesn't affect the rate, but they say that most people that want a red car, it's a sports car, which is a higher insurance rate anyway. So that's probably where that kind of came in, if they're pulled over more.
Oh, they are?
I don't know if it's a midlife crisis thing. They just happen to be more erratic. It's not that they look for more. It just happens that way. I know. You put somebody behind a red, sleek car, and I guess they go nuts.
They just can't handle it.
I know, and that wouldn't thrill me.
No.
I'm not a car person. Don't care.
Yeah, I wouldn't be thrilled.
All right, what about don't sit too close to the television?
Who said how too close was?
My mother thought anything between the couch and the TV was too close.
So if you were sitting on the floor.
Yeah, like I'd want to do.
Yeah.
When I was little, she'd drag me
up
back.
on the couch?
Yeah.
It's too close.
That's too close. It's bad for your eyes.
It's bad for your eyes? Okay. I didn't know if you were like having to wear aluminum foil hat.
No, but that's funny you said that.
So aluminum hat has a myth?
Sort of.
Okay.
Evidently, in the 1960s, people were really concerned that the TV was putting out a lot of radiation, so they didn't want you close to the television.
Oh.
But I never started glowing from that big box TV we had on the floor. It was a big floor model TV.
Yeah, those were basically the only TVs you could get. My grandparents had one, and their parents had one. And
oh, yeah, and it would take like 2 people to carry it.
Oh, yeah, it was like a part of the furniture, decor. Yeah, there'd be little knickknacks on it and dollies and shit on the top, and I was the remote. And
oh, yeah. I remember my dad trying to watch Sanford and Son and telling me to go fiddle with it wasn't rabbit ears, but there was a way to tune with the dial to fine-tune certain stations so it didn't get fuzzy. Did you go through the same thing?
I don't remember doing that, but I do remember the big ass TVs, and a house would only have one, so everybody had to watch the same thing.
I did have a black and white TV in my room.
Well, I remember having a TV in my room, but not till I was like probably 10 or 11.
Yeah, I was older.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was little, it was just the one. And we only had like 4 stations. I was in 6th grade when we finally got cable. That was such a big deal. Loved it. Well, what about don't swim after you eat?
Was this because you'll get cramp and drown?
Well, here's the funny thing. On that one, there's no scientific basis, but the Boy Scout book of 1908 actually put out a warning that when you eat, all your blood goes to help digest your food at your stomach so your limbs don't work right. Blood gets pulled from your limbs, I guess, so you can't.
How can we walk or anything else?
I know.
When our food's digesting.
I know. I thought the same thing.
Yeah. No. That's goofy as hell.
I know.
You made me think like, oh, well, what if it is doing that?
No, it's not.
I know. No, I know, but like, oh, the Boy Scouts aren't going to lie, right? I think it was, you had to wait 30 minutes.
I was told an hour, but I never felt any different after I ate.
I know.
I'm like, I just want to get in the pool.
I know.
I think my mom did, because I'd begged so much, I finally got to the point she'd let me in the pool, but don't go in the deep end.
Yeah, you can get in the water, but you got to stay where you can touch.
Do you remember they'd make you take breaks at like the public pools?
Yeah.
They'd make everybody come out for a little while before you could go back in, and then they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
It's like, what was that about? I don't even know. Am I babbling?
No, I guess they thought we couldn't swim so many minutes or hours in a row. That break.
That's crazy.
Everybody out.
All this stuff's kind of crazy.
It is.
When you think about it, because we were believing it. I want to get back in the pool, but I just ate, so I can't do that now. And it just ruined my whole day.
I know. Or else you wouldn't eat anything all day. See, to me, that sounds more dangerous. And
I know.
You get, because you don't want to get out of the pool and wait your 30 minutes to an hour before you can get back in. So now I'm not eating. So now I'm going to pass out from no food because I don't want to settle.
Well, this
I'm
one's
upset about this pool.
I am too. I know. Why did they make us get out for 10 minutes? It was like every hour, wasn't it? Or am I crazy on that?
I don't remember the specifics.
I hadn't thought about the public pool in a long time. I wouldn't dare get in a public pool now for anything. How disgusting. Just pee all over me, why don't you? Why? Why get in the pool? All right, this next one I know you and I differ over.
Okay.
Don't run around with a wet head. It's don't go outside. Don't get cold. That's when you can catch a cold kind of thing. And you do have to be in contact with the virus. And it has to do with your immune system because when you're cold, your immune system goes down.
May I say?
Which thing?
I go to bed. I went to bed last night with my hair wet.
Oh, that's another thing. We'll have to bring that up next
At 3
week.
o'clock in the morning.
But that's another, going to bed with a wet head is disgusting.
No, it's not.
I read about that one. That's a bacteria thing. We're going to talk about that one next time.
It's not going to change.
Because you don't want that shit in your head.
It's not going to change me.
Because I know you got a hot head.
I do got a hot head.
There's no telling what's fermenting and growing
Nothing's
around
growing.
those follicles.
Better not be.
This is a study from Harvard University in 2015. They said the chill can increase the speed in which the rhinovirus, a common cold pathogen, multiplies in lab mice. So while it is not a direct cause of contracting the cold, outside conditions like temperatures, wet hair, and not wearing sufficient clothing could create the conditions for a common cold to overcome an immune system's defense. I'm one of those, if I'm cold or tired, I feel like my immune system's down. I can almost guarantee I'm going to be sick the next day.
Well, at least you said you have to have contact with the virus to get the cold.
Yeah, and of course in winter months that's more. It's
Going
easier
out
to
in the
do.
cold is not going to make you sick, but the longer you spend in the cold is going to make your immune system weak. But still, if my immune system's weak and I don't come in contact with that virus, I'm not going to get cold from getting cold.
It is caused by a virus, but you can catch other stuff.
I don't want to catch nothing.
Okay, here's some fun ones.
Yay.
Were you ever told how not to get pregnant?
Obviously not. But I've heard some dangers.
All right, what about jumping up and down after?
I think
Did
that's...
anybody ever actually tell you that?
No.
Like your friends or anything? Like, oh, you can go ahead and do it. You won't get pregnant if you jump up and down after.
No, I've heard actual adult people talk about they do it in the shower
That's our next
so
one.
they can rinse it out.
And that's dumb.
That's so stupid.
It is stupid.
No, that's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
Obviously.
I know. I learned some stuff today because sperm can reach the fallopian tubes in 2 minutes.
That's why you should swallow.
Do you ever tell your kids
Nobody
that?
got pregnant from swallowing.
I know. All right. What about the pull-out method?
No, I don't believe that one.
Yeah, that's a myth. I mean, there is a percentage
Yeah.
on that one. That is 1 in 5 can get pregnant on that one.
That's a lot.
Yes, because there is sperm in anything that comes out even before ejaculation. I know. And people, I don't know, they buy into that. Was it because we were raised in bigger cities or something that it was just that we just automatically knew that's bullshit?
Yeah, I think maybe it was like they convinced our grandparents and parents maybe of that because they wanted them to have big families, or people needed to have a lot of kids to help baby the babies and help work in the farm and work in the fields and, contribute to the household, I guess I'm trying to say, from a young age. And we don't need that in our world. So people need to not have more than 2 kids.
I know. All right. What about digesting gum? Is your gum going to stay in you forever if you swallow it?
Forever.
Do you
Or
remember
become a
hearing that
big
one?
ball.
What?
It will become a big ball, like a big solid, like the gum will stick to the gum, and then you have this big solid ball in your belly.
That's a
And
new
then, I know, and then if you bit your fingernails and swallowed your fingernails, they could stick to the gum, and then you would imagine just a big old huge monster, gummy monster with nails sticking out of it. Just rolling
gross.
around in your belly.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, but it'll make you stop swallowing your gum and biting your nails because you don't want that in your belly.
No, you don't. But I remember kids like chewing on styrofoam. That's another one. And I used to hear that if you eat styrofoam, it will turn to glass. Oh, did it?
It recorded that thunder boom.
No, we have a storm coming.
I know.
We'll go ahead and get through these. I just heard a boom, and I'm sure everybody else heard it too. All right. Well, the styrofoam thing, it does say that it's going to be passed as poop like anything else. All right. What about?
But you still shouldn't eat it. Just
Don't eat it.
don't eat it.
It's like, why would you? But, sometimes I guess people will. All right. What about the watermelon seeds? Have you heard that one? You eat watermelon seeds, you swallow them, and it'll grow inside you.
Yeah, why you'll grow watermelon. And I think that's why a lot of people say when people are pregnant, you must have ate the watermelon seeds.
I haven't heard anybody say that.
Oh, I have.
That's funny. I'm a pregnant person. But that's one that needs sunlight to grow, soil to grow, to germinate. You're not going to grow watermelon.
I'm not going to grow a watermelon.
You're not going to grow a watermelon.
I'm not. I'm not doing that.
I know. Well, there's one more in our first 15 that I thought we'd do. And since it's going to storm, maybe we should do it. Alligators in the sewer. Have you heard that one?
I don't remember hearing that.
I remember a friend of mine, her parents would say, put the toilet seat down because anything could be in the sewer because they're finding alligators in the sewer. Somebody let baby alligators go when they got in the sewer.
Ugh.
And they're getting big and they're coming up through the toilets.
I would never take a number 2 again. I'd be afraid something come up out of there and bite you.
Well, the New York City Department of Environment Protection actually does say that it's too cold and toxic, and there's never been an actual recorded sighting of a alligator in the toilet. I know I'm going off the rails here and I shouldn't add to our mess, but I'm going to have to look it up. For some reason, I thought I read that there was like one coming up through a manhole cover somewhere. Am I thinking crazy now?
No, I mean, I've seen them walk down the street in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Golf courses, everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So if they got down in a hole, chances are if they could reach it, why not get back out of it? I know. And I hate alligators. Those bastards can stand up on their hind legs.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, they're sons of bitches.
I don't like any of them.
I don't either.
Even the little lizards that run around, I don't like those. I don't want a pet lizard. I don't want anything amphibious near me.
We've had lizards and snakes and things, and they were okay. I get it. Some people don't like it. But we thought this would be a fun little 4-part
series.
To go ahead and
bust the myths.
We're going to try and bust them. The myths that our parents told us. I was telling Stacy earlier today that Scott had told me that he didn't push the Santa Claus issue with Christina when she was little. And when I said, you didn't, do Santa Claus, and maybe her mom did or grandparents did, but he's like, I didn't lie to my child. And I'm thinking, I'm a big fat liar. Because we did do the Santa, and I'm against lying, and when I think about it now, but I did the Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy and Easter Bunny with the kids.
Well, yeah. I mean, we didn't know that was lying. That's part of having a kid.
Yeah, the magic of Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, and I believed in it, and I remember being devastated when I found out Santa wasn't real. I still think he's real.
Part of me does too.
I know. I'm waiting for him to creep in bed. You don't have to wait for Christmas.
I got your cookie.
Yeah. A big one. I know. But we just thought we'd do a fun little thing. The sky is looking pretty gray. So, we're hearing that Georgia's going to get some bad storms tonight. I even ran out to the car to grab my umbrella for in the morning. So I guess we'll go ahead.
Wrap it up.
I guess we're going to call it tonight. We're going to say that's a wrap. All right.
That is a wrap. Before we get electrocuted. That's another thing. My grandmother, when it was storm, everything had to be unplugged.
Yes.
You couldn't stand near anything electric.
I've heard don't take a shower.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go take a shower right now.
I don't think it's the whole electric thing. I think it's just we don't want to blow up our electronics. That's all it is.
Well, now we have surge protectors, so.
I know.
So anyway, all right, well, let's go take a shower in the storm
That'll work.
on Let's Wine with Brendan and Stacy.
Bye.